point in time on
Oh.
TikTok. When she started blowing up again on TikTok is when she accused me of false allegations of DV. And
So
always
it
been a
created her
little,
following to go up, which I think is what really
yes.
created her addiction in TikTok. Because I've seen so many TikTok creators do
Yeah.
that and kind of
Mhm.
exploit themselves. Like not to say that we don't, do things that are messy for attention to get views. Let's be real, we do
Yeah.
that too. But the way that she's doing it in the direct harm and then sitting there and saying like I love this individual and regularly dating trans men, like I have a problem with that narrative because it's extremely dangerous to have 2 million followers and in this climate that we're looking at and just really disregard and spin the narrative in a way that again you are a trans man, you're not a cis man, so you don't have that
Cis women are a problem
protection in
sometimes.
the way that a
No.
No
cis
shade.
man would be protected when
Yes.
these accusations are being thrown at you. And then, just I also want to give you an opportunity. Is there anything that you saw for other trans men and mistakes that you may have made that you can really? Because I think how I see my masculinity and manhood is really like owning and taking accountability. I think it's really powerful for men for us
Yeah.
to really own our mistakes. So, is there advice or maybe something you might have done wrong that you might have wished you could take back? Or where do you want, what's the message you want to give to the internet? Because I know that that message has been skewed for you in so many ways. And I want to give you an opportunity to really educate people that trans people exist. We experience harm in very nuanced ways. And even within our own LGBT community, I mean, the T is now gone from LGB and most of the community is silent about it. What lesson would you want to give, especially trans men?
Absolutely. So the lesson that I really learned here is we do need to be careful of one who we are choosing as our partners, and even just surrounding ourselves with in general. Because this woman, I was completely vulnerable with. She was with me before I had gotten top surgery. Also, I've let her know the insecurities of my transition. She's really in and out to my transition, and then later, because I was so vulnerable and thought I was able to trust her, and that was my I guess more like my judgment on my end, and that's where I will take accountability. Is I was so vulnerable with somebody that I knew, in a sense, didn't really love me, but hoped for it more so, and then in the end, found out the hard way. So we just really need to be careful on who we're surrounding ourselves and which women or men that we are dating, because some people do look at us as a fetish. Some people do not actually, have good intentions with us, and when dating public figures, we need to be extremely careful on their intentions because some public figures will prey on you and act as if they like you and they want to be with you, but trans is different. It automatically does bring numbers. And I had said that the other day and I got crucified. And I'm like, we are different. That's true. People are curious of us. So when a cisgender person dates a trans person and they do have a public platform, a lot of the times the people are very much interested in the trans person and in the relationship and things like that. So when dating public figures and things like that, you just be careful. It's okay to be vulnerable. Just make sure you're being vulnerable with yourself. Also, with experiencing that, I started to think very toxic, and I had to lean on older trans men or even other trans men checking me. I had started to get like kind of like a toxic masculinity like thought process with little things like, oh, we can't be so feminine. Yes, we
Yeah.
can. That's not a problem. And I had to learn like a trans man, a few trans men had checked me like, what do you mean? Like there's cis men that are feminine and masculine. Like that doesn't even make sense. And I'm like, you know what? Wait, hold on. You are actually absolutely right. But because I was being so crucified, I
Yes.
allowed the toxic thoughts and then I started criticizing myself. And I'm like, no, we can't be like that. We need to be like this, 100% manly. And we can't even represent a little bit girly. That is not true. And I had fell victim to that toxic thought process for a second. And I had to rewire and be more open and understand that there is no rule book to being a trans man. You don't need to act like all the other cisgendered men. You could be 100% feminine and still be a trans man. There's
Yes.
no rules to
Yes.
it. And I think I also learned that also throughout this whole situation with so many like my thought process kind of altering and then other trans men kind of like giving me advice and letting me know because I was like, I want to change my feminine traits. I don't want to have no feminine traits because I was constantly being critiqued. And now I'm like, I don't give a damn. That's who I am. If you think I'm sassy, then shit, I'll be sassy. I don't
That's
care.
right.
I'm still a fine ass man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, you
so
are.
you
Josiah,
feel me?
I gotta tell you,
I had a final question too. So I wanted to know something.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just how is Josiah Peace healing? How are you doing now? Like, let's
I am
talk a little
doing-
bit about that, because this was a lot,
Absolutely.
and we need to know how you're healing. What's going on? Do you got a new boo? What's tea? Like, we want to know what's going on.
Also, he's got a new apartment, actually.
Oh,
Yes,
congratulations!
yes.
We'll do
Thank
that
you,
again.
thank you.
See, I told you, I followed you, Josiah. I know all your
You
stuff.
did,
You know, I'm a fan too.
You are a real one, bro. You are a real one. I honestly, I feel great. With the healing process, there are some days that are harder than others. And this week was a little rougher. I try to be transparent with also my community because I want it to be a safe place. I want people to see we are influencers, but we are people. We feel emotions. So this week was very rough on my healing journey. But something I'm trying to focus on that I didn't used to do is I used to suppress my emotions and gaslight myself out of feeling how I felt. And when I would feel myself about to cry, like, you can't cry, like, don't cry, like you're being a little bitch. And it's like, now I'm like, no, cry. Allow yourself to feel that. Grieve it, let it go and move on. So day by day, it's definitely getting better. In the beginning, I was like, this is never gonna get I'm gonna feel like this forever. But as time goes on, I'm healing. When it comes to love, I'm open to love, but I want to make sure that I'm presenting myself to my future woman 100% healed and 100% the man that I know that she's going to be able to love and a man that's going to be able to provide. My transition is something that has really saved my life and I take very, very serious. It's like a completely reborn. Even with my dating, before my transition, I was not the best person to deal with them cheating and just because I didn't love myself and who I was. So there was a lot of messiness and things like that. But I want to just make sure that I'm 100% healed and someone is receiving all of my love and all of me because I know I have a lot to bring to the table. So I'm definitely happy and healing, if that makes sense.
I love
happy
it.
and healing.
Love
as well.
that.
Beautiful. And Josiah, I just want to thank you again. First of all, for taking this horrific situation that happened to you. And it sounds like the message that you've learned is that toxic masculinity, especially through all the nuances of what you experienced, even from another fellow trans man, what happened to you, that you're not becoming bitter, you're becoming better as a man.
Right.
And I think it's important for us as trans men to stand up for the feminine man and stand in that gap for them as well.
Which, by the way, please subscribe to our channel if you have not already. Make sure you hit the like button down below so that way you know. I'm sorry, it's a subscribe button. Make sure you hit the
You can hit the
subscribe
like button too, and
Yeah,
the
hit the
comments.
like button.
Hit it all.
Hit the like button.
We need monetization more,
'cause
okay?
you know
Hit
the
it. Even if
comments
you
are
hate
gonna be-
us.
The comments are going to be flooded with hate. But
You get
make sure
paid either way.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so that way you'll know when me and Shane are on the air. And don't forget to take a little time to enjoy the Transparency Podcast Show.